Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Pink, and I'm gonna be doing another review for this week. The auto vlog is taking a bit of my time, but I think I've just been lazy. I just finished scripting it. I'm not sure how long it's gonna be, but I do want to apologize in a sense because it was brought to my attention that my Uma Musume vlog, as well as a bunch of other vlogs, had my voice only on the left channel, and I never noticed until someone commented on my Uma Musume vlog on YouTube. So thank you to that person. I am going to double check and make sure that doesn't happen for any future videos slash vlogs. Hopefully you're hearing me in both of your ears. But now, the review that we're going to be doing today is the movie Cosmic Princess Kaguya. You can support this movie on Netflix. Keyword is can. I don't got that shit. But that is one of the places that you can watch it on. And I'm not sure how long this review itself is going to be because I'm going to treat this like the Uma Musume vlog where I wrote notes as I watched the movie and then basically give you my opinions throughout. I wanted to start with the only thing that I knew about this movie was that they performed their own iteration of World Is Mine by Ryo / Supercell, and I was just like, ooh, what's this? And I love the way that they did the production, but I'll go a little bit more into that later. But we start off in the movie with a narration above a bunch of pretty lights. The movie is really fucking pretty with its color direction. Placed long ago, but wait, it's not. It's the future, but also not. We get a lot of pretty lights, and we see a fox girl. This is taking place in what took me too long to realize what it was called, the virtual world of Tsukiyomi, not to be confused with the Tsukiyomi in Naruto. But we are introduced to our main character, Iroha Sakayori, who we find out doesn't get along with her mom, so she said fuck this shit, moved out, got a part-time job, but still upholds herself to be the top model student. And I'm gonna put some quotes that I like from the movie because they were either just funny or I just want to like talk about them. This girl overworks herself so much that she fell asleep with her eyes open, and when she got called in class, she's like, oh my god, thank god no one noticed that I was asleep with my eyes open. As the movie describes, she's a girl who studies, plays video games, cries herself to sleep, and worships an idol AI VTuber thing. The way that they get into the Tsukiyomi world is kind of interesting by using smart contacts. I could never, because I am the type of person that is afraid / can't put on contacts myself. If you've seen me IRL, I got some big ass bottle cap ass glasses, even though I have the reduced size. Hearing the idea of a smart contact instills like a bit of fear in me. Like, if you want to see what my mental image is, if y'all, because I'm old, if y'all have seen that one scene from Billy and Mandy where he goes to the eye doctor and he tries to put in a contact in his eye, that's essentially what I picture when I try to put in a contact in. I've never been able to do it, and nor will I, because fuck that, I'd rather just wear glasses. But anyway, tangent aside, the VTuber that Iroha worships and enjoys a lot is named Yachio Runami, and we see Iroha listening to her song on like her phone as a shooting star passes, and this girl wishes straight up for money. And damn, that felt so real because just a bit of IRL lore, I am getting laid off from my job soon because we're technically contract employees. Her wishing for money was just like, damn girl, same, because I need to start looking for a job. We get some magic lightning that just strikes a pole, travels into a very specific telephone pole that was right by her apartment building, and as they described, it looks like a gamer PC because it was just RGB lights all over that bitch. There's like two handles on the actual pole to form like some doors, and they open magically, and I fucking died because this girl just closes them and just nopes out of there. Like, I love how panic driven but somewhat realistic Iroha is, because she just went, nah, not dealing with this shit. The doors open again, and it's revealed that there's just a baby in the pole. She takes the baby and she's like, what the fuck's going on? And the doors and the RGB lights just go away. So now she's just stuck with a baby. The baby starts crying. She doesn't know what to do. Literally starts Googling shit on how to calm a crying baby. She ends up singing the song that she likes from that VTuber, eventually calming the baby down. She wanted to report what was going on, but as she explains her situations to the police, she realizes how insane the situation is. So she mid-call just goes, hold up, I kind of sound crazy, so like, never mind, y'all good. I'll take care of it from here. And then the baby just lights up like the RGB lights themselves, so I was like, oh shit, a RGB rave baby. The next day, she goes to the store while carrying the mysterious baby, and it's funny, she just looks like a teen mom having to buy diapers, clothes, and a bunch of shit for it. And then it just grows into a young girl who's probably about her age, since I think Iroha is still in high school. But I died again because immediately as Iroha sees that this baby grew up and can talk, she just goes, please leave. like packed up her shit and is like, yo, get the fuck out. After the baby person begs to stay, Iroha ends up making her an omurice. Iroha asks the baby like, yo, where did you come from? And this girl just points to the moon, which reminds Iroha of the story of Princess Kaguya. For those that don't know, it's a traditional folk story from Japan where the baby basically comes from the moon, lands near a bamboo cutter guy, and the guy ends up taking care of it. Eventually, the people from the moon come back to retrieve Kaguya, and then she goes back to the moon. The end. Simple story. And I do like their dynamic, since Iroha is shown to be a workaholic and she's basically realistic but more so pessimistic, so I feel like she's a half glass empty type of girl, while Kaguya is rambunctious, she's loud, she's bratty, so I believe that she's like a half glass full type of girl. We find out that this baby that came from the moon wants her own happy ending, because after being told the story of Princess Kaguya, she's like, I fucking hate this, fuck this shit, I want my own happy ending. Iroha then names the baby after Princess Kaguya since she's reminded of the story, and we cut to the next day where Iroha's alone and she's like, thank God, this must have been like a stress stream or something, only for Kaguya to reveal that she's under the sink like, hey, I'm still here. Kaguya finds out about Iroha's love for Ichio. Iroha explains her lore and Kaguya takes it immediately at face value. We go back to the school where someone in her class just goes, yo, the sleep demons got me real bad, because girl, same, I have a really shit sleep schedule and I have not changed it for the better. I'm a grown man. And we are shown that Iroha can play piano and she's very good at it. But we cut to Kaguya sneaking around the school grounds because she got fucking bored, and we see Iroha talking about the future with her friends. They're not really named, except we find out one girl's name later, but for research's sake, we have her friends are Roka Ayatsumugi and Mami Isayama. Iroha and her friends end up going to a cafe, and I love the way that they animated Iroha whenever she's like feeling any emotion, because they make it so dramatic, and I think that's just fun, especially when Kaguya just goes up to her friends and starts eating Iroha's dessert that they got. And her friends are just, oh wow, who's this girl? She's so cute. Let's feed her. This fucking girl that just appeared out of nowhere and they don't know. Iroha tries to give like a fake explanation, like, oh, she's my cousin. She's from this random part of Japan, Sumuji, I think it was called, because Kaguya tries to say that she's from the moon. And Sonic dashes out of there, starts to scold Kaguya, but Iroha is reminded of her mother, so she stops. We're then shown that Iroha is just broke as fuck because Kaguya just bought a bunch of shit on her using her bank account for no reason. Literally drained her bank account. Like, girl is in the red. She loves the food that Kaguya made, but she's like, damn bro, how am I gonna like live? We then see that Kaguya just knows how to code. I'm not sure which language specifically, but it looked like it could have been Python. I don't know, I studied a bit of code but cheated my way through college, so that's why I'm not using my degree. But this is also foreshadowing to the future. Oh, spoilers. Oh! We see that Kaguya is coding because she wanted a Tamagotchi. Iroha starts setting up some ground rules. Kaguya hates it and of course shows that she's more bratty. And we see how the contexts work. Literally just putting them in your eyes and then tapping your ear and they warp into Tsukiyomi. And I remembered that they mentioned the VTuber is an AI, but somehow she's tangible in the virtual world, which I thought was pretty interesting. But like, bro, that's scary because like we're nearing that type of shit. Kaguya is shown to make an avatar and then she plunges through a portal. She somehow brought the Tamagotchi dog thing that she made. Once we're in the Tsukiyomi, I was like, oh shit, this must have been what we were looking at during the introduction. We're shown that there's also like some in-game currency that you can use for certain things. They can eat food, but there's no taste since they haven't programmed taste into the game yet. The AI VTuber, Yachio, I feel it's still weird that the tutorial version of her is tangible, but they mentioned earlier on that she's able to make thousands of versions of herself because she's an AI. And we are treated to a concert, which looks fucking huge. Hololive could never. Unless they get the technology to do so, then yeah, we're gonna get tangible fucking VTubers probably. I'm not gonna do like a whole ton of research like I usually do for my videos, but the song that Yachio performs is really fun. It has some decent production. The only thing for me, if I were to nitpick, is that the final chorus, when they do like the kind of key change, there's no oomph. I felt like the production was a bit lacking, but still a good song overall. Yachio announces that she's going to be participating in something called the Yachio Cup, which I find kind of funny because it's basically a subathon. Only streamers are allowed to participate, and whoever gets the most subs earns a collab concert with Yachio. And then we see, oh no, a male VTuber. Ew. Get that away from me, because we see a bunch of people react negatively, especially Iroha. We are then introduced to the group called Black Onyx, although it's weird that they shorten it to Black Oni because get it, their designs are based after Oni, hehe, so why not just call call them that. I don't know. I just thought that was a bit dumb. But the members are Mikado Akira, Rai, and Noi. And I was surprised that they also had a bit of a song. Their song was pretty good too. Yachio announces that the concert's over, so I was like, damn, this concert was one song. I know it was a mini concert, but bro, one song. Kaguya is then inspired to become a streamer and win the cup for herself because she got jealous of Iroha fawning over Yachio. Yachio ends up teleporting to where Iroha and Kaguya are, and goddamn, she's fucking tiny. It's implied that Yachio knows or recognizes Iroha. Iroha is fangirling and flipping the fuck out her fucking tier 3 sub ass. But we cut to Kaguya trying to bring her streamer dream to life, but I just found the quote, "What do streamers do anyway?" so funny, because what do they fucking do? Some of them just do nothing, or some of them just play games, or some of them go in the fucking chat thing and that's it, and then they get millions of fucking dollars. I should do that too. And I found it hilarious that Kaguya accidentally face reveals herself during her first stream. We then get a bit of a flashback revealing that Iroha's dad is dead. He inspired her to play piano for fun, but her mother told her, no, you need to play to win. So that was one of the reasons why Iroha ended up giving up in general when it came to music. Kaguya loves that Iroha can play piano and wants her to compose for her. And we see the fake ass Windows 11 on her laptop. And we see that Kaguya is growing hella fast as a beginner streamer, which reminds me, you guys need to like and subscribe and also follow all my socials, because I post this everywhere. So please follow me, support your boy. Going back to the movie, we have an original song that plays throughout. We then get a little beach scene where Iroha, her friends, and Kaguya all hang out together, and we cut back to Kaguya on stream. A bunch of people are giving marriage proposals, which I've seen and heard is a real thing that happens to actual VTubers, which is crazy. I mean, same, but it's funny that Iroha's like immediately modding and blacklisting the word. And I was surprised that, damn, Kaguya has merch already. Like, bro, you just started. What do you mean you have merch? I found it adorable that Kaguya and Iroha developed a secret handshake, and eventually Kaguya ends up trashing Iroha's apartment and lives like Asmongold. Ill. We see that Iroha develops a fever. Kaguya takes care of her, cooks for her, looks after her, and Iroha opens up a bit about her mom.
But who gives a fuck about that?
She receives a challenge from Mikado for a 3v3 for a game called Kasen or something like that. I was gonna joke that, oh look, it's League, because it's basically a King of the Hill type of game, but bro, this game looks like it would be fun as fuck to play because it uses like the kind of, I guess, in a way to explain the SAO technology, so like you see and feel you're moving and shit, even though we do get scenes of them playing on like their keyboard, but their avatars are like doing all this complicated movement. I felt it was a bit dumb. Let me experience it through like the SAO technology, because that idea is cool, except for the you die in the game, you die in real life part. I was confused as to who was going to be the third person, since it was just Kaguya and Iroha. Iroha's wearing a disguise in her avatar for some reason, even though her username is like Ito P or something like that. She gets her friend Mami to join her, fangirls to Mikado, and passes out, being ineligible to play for some reason. What the fuck was the point? But Yachio joins in the fray, and we're revealed that Mikado is actually Iroha's brother. Kaguya's team loses round 1. They kind of win round 2, I think. And then we get a flashback that after Mikado moves out, this seems to be the start as to the relationship between Iroha and her mother getting even worse, because they didn't really get along before, but now that the brother's not there to mediate, it got even worse. We cut back to a big fight. Stunning choreography and color direction again. This movie is really pretty to look at. My favorite thing throughout the fight, aside from the choreography, was how they implemented like some 8-bit like kind of bit crush sound, or like 16-bit sounds into the instrumental for like a few seconds, but it was so cool. And she beats her brother but doesn't really win the match per se. Black Onyx, or Black Uni, ends up winning the game, but the Yachio Cup isn't over yet. We are then shown the results of the subathon, and Kaguya ends up winning. And it was, I found kind of cute that Iroha also has her own fans, because there were people like, oh hell yeah, that's my girl, Ito P, you're so cool. So I was like, oh, that's cool, even though she was trying to be secretive about her identity. And I forgot to mention that Mikado placed a bet before the challenge where if they win the cup, he gets to marry Kaguya, but he will do whatever Iroha and Kaguya say if they win. But since Kaguya's team won the cup, they asked him to be their guarantor so that they can get an apartment, which he agrees to. I find it interesting that we get a close-up of the moon and it's a disco ball. I don't know, I thought that was pretty cool. We get a small montage of them moving in and having fun and adjusting to their new place. place. When I was watching the movie, I saw that Iroha is still sleeping on the floor. I know this is a Japanese thing, but bro, get a bed. Kaguya ends up going through Iroha's laptop and finds an unfinished song from 2020 with the name Tomohisa on it. Iroha says that she hasn't been able to finish that song for a very long time and she doesn't plan to. But then we come back to the concert collab that they won, and the first song that they perform is their iteration of World Is Mine by Ryo / Supercell. I love their take on it because the production was so different, but because the lyrics are the same as the original, it still feels familiar. And I wrote in my notes, don't forget to mention that I'm still never gonna forgive whoever copyrighted striked my World Is Mine remix, because I remixed the Alia Can't Say Her Feelings Unless It's in Russian or whatever the fuck that show was called, because the seiyuu for Alia sang that song. So I was like, oh cool, I always wanted to do a Hatsune Miku remix, so I used that as an excuse to do so. And then someone from Supercell's Brazilian team or something like that copyright striked my fucking video. It's still up and I think you're still able to listen to it, but I was like, man, fuck you, you didn't have to do that shit. I don't even make money from YouTube anyway, unless you subscribe. After World Is Mine, we are introduced to a new song that had crazy ass production, really jazzy chords. I'm not gonna really get into like the nitty gritty of the songs like I do in my usual videos, but the songs are really good. Should also mention that all the songs are available on streaming platforms and also on YouTube. And funnily enough, Ryo did work / produce on them. The album is called Ex Otogi Banashi. I probably butchered that, but whatever, I don't speak Japanese, bro. Yeah, the songs in this movie are really good, so I do recommend giving a listen to the album. You can also find the OST available as well. And then I noticed that like we saw a clock that had the date on it, and I was like, oh shit, it's 2030, dude. What the fuck?
It's in the future. It's in a few years.
We then see that there are people being turned into like these lantern monster things, and one of them touches Kaguya and kind of like, I don't want to say nullifies her, but she gets all emotionally dead looking. Yachio somehow ends up sending them away. Everything feels weird, but as we learn later in the movie, where I'm gonna talk about that, where everything kind of makes sense. We then cut to the next day and Kaguya seems fine, but these lantern things come back in like the real world, kind of. We cut to Iroha's friends congratulating her for the concert in the Tsukiyomi, and they wanted to all hang out during the fireworks festival that's coming up, but her friends tell her that she should just enjoy it alone with Kaguya. When Iroha proposes the hangout, Kaguya gets extremely excited. They hang out and it's a little cute little montage. During the actual fireworks, they open up the conversation again about Iroha's mom, where Iroha says that she wishes she could say that she hates her mom, but she can't, and Kaguya reveals that she's actually Kaguya. She pointed to them when she's like, hey, my people are coming back, so I'm actually Kaguya. But they're gonna pick her up in the Tsukiyomi because somehow that virtual world is closer to the moon itself. That part I didn't really get. Kaguya mentions that she wishes that she could stay because there's so much more that she wants to do. She realizes that this is her happy ending itself. Announces her VTuber graduation. Kaguya mentions to Iroha that she wants her final song to be that unfinished song that she was working on with her dad. So we see Iroha working diligently on that song. She sneaks off to go back into Tsukiyomi and talks with her school friends, Yachio and the Black Oni group, and just reveals to everyone that she's actually Princess Kaguya. Yachio tried to find out where the people were coming from, since this is technically Yachio's world, if that makes sense. Yes, she owns her own Twitch VR chat thing. Her brother suggests that they fight them off in the Tsukiyomi, or the virtual world. We cut to Iroha working on the song, which was the first song that she ever wrote, which I found was kind of cute. She really wanted to finish that song, but she ends up giving up because nothing ever felt right. And goddamn girl, I felt that too as a music producer / artist, because I have a song that I'm waiting to release, but I want to rework on it, but I haven't been. I've been lazy. Kaguya volunteers to write the lyrics since nothing felt right to Iroha, and Yachio agrees to be the producer of the graduation concert. Iroha realizes that her first song is similar to Yachio's debut song, which I thought was kind of weird, but we're gonna get to that. Kaguya has always been wearing a bracelet throughout the movie. You can see it in the art. She gives this bracelet to Iroha as like a way to remember her by. During the concert, we see that Peaches land on the ground in the Tsukiyomi world. This shows us that, oh shit's about to go down. It's disturbing the Anyway. Kaguya starts her song. I found the designs for the alien moon people to be really cool. There was a lot of cool choreography and again, a lot of pretty colors. I found it funny that Kaguya was playing Beat Saber with the lantern things that were coming after her. He immediately goes into a second song. The team gets overpowered, but they regain their ground. Animation starts going fucking crazy around this part. Kaguya and Iroha get surrounded by lanterns, but the moon people end up taking Kaguya away. She says goodbye, says thank you to everyone, and we see that her eyes go into that lifeless state again as she is being taken away. Iroha logs out of Tsukiyomi and sees that she's vanished in real life too. Even though this is supposed to be sad, I found it kind of funny. Kaguya scheduled a Venmo, PayPal, Zelle, whatever you use, Cash App to hit her bank account. Like, hey, this is all the money that I spent. Yeah, so I paid you back. Bye. And days pass. Iroha's a bit sad, but she hands in her paperwork saying that she wants to study law. And apparently throughout these days that she was just depressed, she didn't talk to her friends. I found it hilarious that the movie's like, and they lived happily ever after. I'm like, bro, there's still 20 fucking minutes left. What do you mean? Iroha goes, man, fuck that shit. Takes back the paper from the teacher and decides to write more music. She takes some time off from her job, ends up reconnecting with her mom and actually talking to her. And her mom is accepting that she wants to work on music. So I was like, oh, cool. We got some character growth and development. Iroha ends up finishing the song and sings it on her balcony. Somehow, I want to say the power of friendship bullshit, Kaguya ends up hearing this song and is like, oh shit, I should go back to Earth. Even though she's like in this 8-bit world and she somehow launches herself from that 8-bit world. Iroha is determined to find Yachio, but she finds like the little furry slug thing, so she follows it and then follows it into the real world somehow. We cut to Kaguya still on her way. Iroha finds a tiny apartment with a bunch of computers. We are revealed finally that Yachio is actually Kaguya. They're the same person. We are then revealed Yachio's backstory, which is Kaguya's backstory, that she heard a song that made her decide to come to Earth, but she came too late in Earth years, but apparently they can time travel, I guess. And while she was on her way, she hits a rock that veers her off course and she lands on Earth 8,000 years ago. She used the slug thing, I forget its name, I think it was like Fushi or something, as a proxy and waited till humanity invented the invisible, aka like the internet and electricity and technology. So they're technically both Kaguya, but the one we were with throughout is stuck in time, in a sense. And Iroha just goes, hey, so like, tell me everything that happened the past 8,000 years. And Yachio goes, all right, I guess. We get a cute little montage and she goes, all right, yo, I'm tired. But Iroha's like, bro, we're still in the Edo period. Like, damn. Yachio ends up falling asleep, but Iroha realizes that Yachio is still hiding something. Fushi, the slug thingy, shows her everything. I kind of liked how they did it. It's like a flashback. We're given a bunch of quotes here and there, basically throughout the entirety of those 8,000 years. You get like a kind of warp perspective kind of thing, but with a boom and a glass break. It seems that Iroha had information overload and knocks the fuck out. She lands into like this really pretty ocean sky scene kind of thing, and Iroha tells Yachio that she managed to find her own happy ending even without her, and she immediately breaks down and she's like, no, but I want to be with you. Yachio mentions that she always remembered Iroha's song. They do their secret handshake. Was like, oh, that's cute. And I'm gonna keep referring to Yachio as Yachio because calling her Kaguya I feel like might have been confusing. Iroha realizes that her story isn't over yet, and we get another montage. She visits her mom again, becomes a researcher, and we see text on the screen that says a decade has passed. So we're in 2040. Iroha is talking to her brother and her group in reality so that he can invest in her breakthrough, because she's like, hold up, I'm on the verge of a breakthrough, yo, I need your support. And he's like, bro, I'm not rich, you are. So he's like, all right, and helps her out. And I also found it funny that the mommy girl still fawns over the Mikado guy, and it's revealed that Iroha made like an android kind of thing for her, which I thought was cute. The reason why Iroha makes this android kind of cyborgish body for her is so that they can have one final concert with the three of them. God damn, people are still supporting Yachio after a decade. That's a very successful VTuber career. They all get their happy ending. I usually have the habit of looking up if the movie has a post-credit scene, but with this I just fast forwarded through the credits, and we do get a post-credit scene, and it's not really important. It's just a cute extra line where Yachio says, man, even after 8,000 years I still want to eat Yoha's pancakes. So I was like, oh, that's fucking dumb, but that's cute. And that's it. That's the movie. This movie was enjoyable. It's really cute. If you have an extra 2.5 hours to spend, I recommend watching the movie. This movie has been out since I think January, so if you've seen the movie, let me know what you think. Or if this video inspired you to go actually watch the movie, let me know your thoughts after you watch it. I like to inspire discussion throughout these videos. Tell me that I'm an anime tourist or something, even though I've been watching anime since the end of high school, which is over a decade at this point. And I'm going back to watch classics I haven't watched. If you want, recommend me some other movies or shows that you want me to talk about. I was thinking of making a video on Yu Yu Hakusho, as I recently watched the show in its entirety for the first time. Same thing with Code Geass that I did before. I did Ava last year, and like I think 1 or 2 of the movies. I still got to do the Rebuild series of movies. But I also thought of making a video on this one show that came out last year called Dusk Before the End of the World or some shit. I thought the concept of the movie was interesting, but then it just kept getting weird and I wanted to talk about it. So if you're interested in that, let me know and maybe I'll make a video on it. But with that, I have been Pink. Hopefully the auto vlog is coming out next week, so we will see if that comes out or if I post something else. But with that, I will see y'all whenever.